What's up, everyone out there? TJ the Blind Man with another sports video. This time we're going to dive into a little bit of baseball. I haven't done too much baseball talk so far in my videos, but that's because, well, quite frankly, the season's way too long and we're only about halfway through it. I really think baseball can shorten down the season, maybe by 20 to 25 games. Maybe even have the playoffs start before football season, maybe even in before football season starts. I think that would really drive the ratings up. There's a couple other changes out there I think baseball could do besides making the season shorter. First off, they could start out by making these games shorter or go by quicker. A couple ways I think they could do that is maybe throwing in a pitch clock for the pitchers. Make these pitchers throw the ball within 20 to 25 seconds. Stop these batters from stepping out every 2 to 3 pitches. That would shorten it a lot, because sometimes during a baseball game you'll see one batter step out of the box and take a timeout 2 or 3 times, and that right there extends the game at least by 5-10 minutes. And another thing they can do we really have to take a commercial break after every half inning? These guys are professional athletes. Why can't they run back to the dugouts and get the other ones that's in the dugout of the opposite team to run out on the field and take their position? I mean, in football, we don't take a commercial break after every time the ball changes hands to the other team, do we? But anyway, I'm through complaining about rule changes in baseball. I'm going to dive into what I think is happening on the field so far this season and tell you who I think is going to make the playoffs out of each division. We'll start over in the National League. In the West, where I think is the weakest division in the National League, I still think San Francisco is going to win that division. They won the championship last year, and they brought back pretty much everyone from that team, although Posey got hurt a couple weeks ago, and that's going to put a dent in their lead a good little bit. But I still think they're the team to beat out west, and I think they will win that division. In the Central, with Albert Pujols getting hurt this past week, I think that opens the door wide open for Cincinnati to win that division and get into the playoffs. Although I don't think Cincinnati has the team to get in the playoffs and threaten to even have a shot at making it to the World Series, but I do think they will win that Central League division. The best baseball in the National League is played in the National League East. The Phillies have the best pitching staff in baseball. They have 3 pitchers on that team that could be number ones on any other team in baseball, and I think they will win the Eastern Division title. Although I think the Braves are very close to the Phillies, and I actually think the Braves will win the wild card, and I do think the Braves could probably beat the Phillies head-to-head. We've seen it the last couple of years where the Phillies have really struggled against the Braves. I don't know what it is, if it's a psychological thing or what, but the Phillies do kind of struggle when they face the Braves. And I do think both of the Phillies and the Braves will win their first round series and meet each other in the NLCS for a chance to get to the World Series. And although Philly has the best pitching staff, I think the Braves' offense is probably better than the Phillies, and I think the Braves could probably put up enough runs to outscore the Phillies. We've even seen the Phillies this year where they're only putting up 3 or 4 runs a game. But 3 or 4 runs with that pitching staff is going to win them a lot of games, maybe even get them into the 100 wins. On to the American League. I think the same thing playing out in the American League, where the best baseball's in the Eastern Division with the Red Sox and Yankees. I think both of them teams will make the playoffs. I think the Yankees will probably end up winning the division because of the offense they have with A-Rod and Derek Jeter and Mark Teixeira at first base. So I do think the Yankees will probably end up winning that division. Red Sox is the wild card. In the Central, I think it's Minnesota's division to lose as usual. I know we saw Cleveland put up a fight the first month and a half of the season, but like I said, it's a long season. First month got to where it really doesn't count all that much, and we're seeing that now because Cleveland started out on fire, but they've kind of cooled off the last month and allowed Minnesota to catch them. And I still think Minnesota's the best team in that Central Division. Out west, I think Texas Rangers are still the best team out there. And just like in the National League, I think that's the weakest division in the American League, is the West. The only team you've got out there really is Texas. I really don't think Anaheim, Oakland, or Seattle can even put up a fight to play with Texas. And they suffered a little bit when Josh Hamels was out, but they got him back now, and I think that's going to be the spark they need to really run away with that division. Although I think when they get in the playoffs, they won't be quite as lucky as they were last year, and I think they will lose to either the Red Sox or the Yankees, whoever they face, because just like in the National League, I think the Red Sox and Yankees will both win their first round series and meet each other in the ALCS for a chance to go to the World Series. And if I was going to pick one from right now, I would go with Boston just because of their pitching staff. I think, yeah, I think that the Yankees have the best offense, but I think when they face the Red Sox, I think the pitching staff can shut that offense down a little bit, enough for them to win 4 games in the series. So my World Series teams this year, I would have to go with the Red Sox and the Braves. Hopefully the Atlanta Braves will win. And while we're speaking of baseball, I want to mention something else. Mark Cuban really wants to own a baseball team. He's been wanting to own one for a couple of years, ever since the Chicago Cubs were up for sale. And I really do think he needs to own a team, because he's just proven with the Dallas Mavericks, in case you don't know who Mark Cuban is, he is the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, who just won the NBA championship. And I think the reason that baseball hasn't allowed him to buy a team is because he isn't part of that good old boy connection they got going on in baseball, which I think is really wrong. My question to the fans out there, how can Bud Selig and Major League Baseball allow Frank McCoy to buy the LA Dodgers with pretty much no funds to back him up, having to take out loans to buy it? But you won't let Mark Cuban, who's sitting there on tons and tons of cash, with the .coms that he started in the NBA championship that he just won. I really don't understand that, because I think he would be the perfect person to come in and take over the LA Dodgers and turn that franchise around and make them a proud franchise again. I really think he could probably even bring a championship back to LA. And come on, baseball, there's no football team in LA. People out there love going to baseball games, but they're not going right now because of the whole mess with Frank McCoy and his wife. So why not, since you got the team taken away from Frank McCoy, go ahead and sell it to Mark Cuban. Let him come in, let him do what he wants to turn that franchise around, get them back. I mean, that is a big market out there in LA, and baseball can really thrive out there with no football team, but they just need the right owner, someone who can step in and do the right thing, and I definitely think Mark Cuban is that guy. I just don't understand why baseball won't let him. And that's about all I got on baseball right now, but I will be coming out with more videos on baseball. If you agree or disagree, please comment. Let me know. Let me know what the fans are thinking that's watching my videos, because I want to know what people are thinking so I know what to talk about more often. And I love to hear people who disagree with what I think, because then people always are the ones that really let me know where the fans stand. Sure, I like to hear people agree with me, but it's the people that disagree with me that I want to hear from. So please write a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you think is going to get to the World Series. And please tell a friend about me. Please tell a friend to watch. I have NASCAR videos, basketball videos, and there's going to be football videos to come. So everyone, please tell a friend. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. Like my fan page on Facebook, or follow me on Twitter. It's all the same thing, TJ the Blind Man. And thank you for watching.